Yeah, jurors have been hearing from Pittsburgh police officer Michael Smida. He and Officer Dan Mead were the first officers on the scene at the Pittsburgh synagogue shooting. Smida said that as they approached the door, Smida saw some broken glass, that Mead was approaching what he calls a fatal funnel, the point where everything is funneled to a point where something fatal could happen. Smida said he was about to caution Mead because he had noticed broken glass from gunfire, but Mead already appeared startled. That was the cause of the first shot and the sound of glass breaking. Smida said he could hear a shot go by his own head, that there were a bunch of shots in succession after that. He saw Officer Dan Mead's hand go up. Mead had been shot in the hand. They moved behind a corner just feet away, and Smida radioed, "Officer down, front door." Smida started to feel heat on his own neck and realized that he was bleeding. Glass had gone through his ear, and he said a bunch of shrapnel had sprayed into his face. He testified, quote, "From the shots I heard, he had a rifle and I had a pistol." He said he realized he might be in the way of other officers if they fired on the gunman, so he moved his position. Smida said he got to a bush and reached a window where he could see through. He leaned over a flower bed, put his face close to the window, as close as he could get it. He says, "I could finally see inside the building." What he saw was the barrel of a rifle, then the strap used to shoulder the rifle. What else did he see? Smida answered, "I saw that man over there." He identified the defendant, Robert Bowers. Smida said, "I don't think he saw I was there. He started to look my way. That's when I started firing." After firing his .45 Glock service weapon, Smida backed away. He attempted to let police know by radio that he had just shot at Bowers 3 times. He didn't know if he had hit Bowers, but he said, quote, "I knew that he was pissed." Bowers returned gunfire. Smida got to and behind a car. Someone gave him bandages for his bleeding. He then got to an ambulance for medical attention, but he stayed on the scene to continue to assist fellow officers. Smida was wearing what he described as a standard issue vest and his Pittsburgh police uniform. He said it was not likely to offer protection from rifle fire. With the end of his questioning, the defense was given an opportunity for cross-examination. They passed. They asked no question. Now on the stand is Pittsburgh police officer Steve Meskin. He is a SWAT operator and the lead of tactical forces for Pittsburgh police. He's describing how SWAT progressed through the building, coming upon the wounded and the dead as they looked for the gunman. Reporting live at Pittsburgh Federal Court downtown, Bob Mayo, Pittsburgh's Action News 4.